Fable, how long would you say you've been a Ninja Turtle fan?
Probably since I was a kid, so fucking 20
Years.
plus 20 years, literally, like just about my entire life. So literally 20 plus years at this point.
No, I didn't
Probably
strum a
more.
No, I didn't strum a guitar. I'm pretty much the same here. I've always there's also a clan of vampires that are basically Cenobites crossed with Pillarmen. You think that's boring? Well, there's
Yeah,
some.
yes, I do. The Cenobites are stupid. The Pillar Men are funny. It's fucking Vampires
He's
boring,
had.
guys. Just accept it.
Don't try to convince him. He knows he's wrong, but he will stay in his ways. It's all right.
Listen. Here's the
Uh,
thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. I respect the fact that you guys like vampires. Please respect the fact that I don't like them. That's all
and
I ask.
anyway, as I was about to say, I've been a Ninja Turtles fan for a very long time. Like, quite literally since I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles counted up. 1, 2, 3, 4 turtles. Anyway, we're going to watch this video about Ninja Turtle games. Well, specifically Shredder's Revenge, which me and Fable have played together.
I love JoJo.
Let me put it this way, Brutal. He loves, Kaniku Man, which we'll eventually put out the Kaniku Man video of Bumbles McFumbles. It's just, there's a lot of censoring for the character you're exactly thinking of.
Also, wait, we're watching a Bumbles McFumbles video on. Wait, how do I record this?
Well,
Second.
it's not my fault you weren't recording.
Listen, if you tell me it's something I enjoy, I literally thought it was a short. I didn't know it was a fucking long ass video. Give me a quick second. Fucking rude.
It
Everyone's
makes him
mean to
sound
me.
like he's going to his corner and messing with the TV. Freaking.
I am straight up going to my corner and getting my TV ready to record. You kidding me?
This makes me think, yeah, we are just a
Won't
comedy
take that
duo.
long. Yeah, but I'm great, and you're mean. What about it?
Oh my god.
Okay, he's mean to me, chat.
Well, if you
All
want me
eyes
to
on
be
the
more mean to
screen.
Fable, then consider, I don't know, following on YouTube. Or subscribing.
Oh my god.
And watching all my videos, because that's what gets me the huns. Deal as a vampire.
Oh my god. I'm sorry you all like vampires. I'm sorry I don't like vampires.
Yeah, apparently so. Well, honestly, if me and don't throw things at me, Platty. I'll just. You know what? I'm repoing your trash can. And your dumpster. Anyway. Are you all set up?
Yeah. It's not working with me right now, so bear with me.
Hmm.
Come on.
Anyway.
There. Yeah. I'm set up. Go.
Okay, go.
Somebody.
Mapping the timeline of genres and their popularity is a really funny thing.
Yeah.
Some eras in gaming are
It's
solely
sometimes
defined by the fact
strange.
they have a certain type of game that was really popular.
True.
Xbox 360 and PS3 were defined by shooter games, N64 was
Kinda,
defined
yeah.
by 3D platformers, and the Gizmondo
Yeah.
was defined specifically by sticky balls, and that's it.
What?
At the same time, it's also interesting to see where these genres
I have no
fall
idea
out
what
of
he was
style.
referring
Good
to.
luck finding a halfway decent 3D platform on the original Xbox, dirtbag!
Yeah.
Of the genres that shone the brightest and then died the hardest, beat 'em ups have to take that crown. You could throw a
Yeah,
rock in a crowded
they're
arcade
everywhere.
and probably hit a beat 'em up, and you'd also cause several $100 worth of damages, but who's counting? The genre was everywhere in the late 80s to early
Yeah.
90s. Capcom was leading the charge
Gotta
with games
beat
like
'em up,
Final
man.
Fight and Captain Commando.
Gotta
Konami
kick
was
'em down.
perfecting the genre with games like X-Men
We
and
don't
The
have to
Simpsons,
beat up
and
everyone,
Sega was
Fable.
propping up the Genesis with games like Streets of Rage and
do.
Golden Axe. Beat 'em ups were the king of arcades and home consoles, until the PS1 released and every single developer making them turned to dust. Yeah, the
Yeah.
fifth generation is the hard cutoff
Oh,
point for beat 'em
dear
ups and
God.
popularity. With
That looked terrible. What the hell was that?
games moving to 3D
I
and
don't-
pixel are
I don't
considered
know.
old news. Seriously,
Oh.
they said games like Metal Slug and Mega Man X4 were outdated. Metal
Wow.
Slug!
Metal
And beat 'em
Slug.
ups were one of those genres that just doesn't play well
Uh,
with
funny enough, Fable, there is Metal Slug Tactics on, over on, get it, on, Steam right now. If you want that.
Some tried, most
Yeah,
failed,
I
and it
know,
seemed
I
like
know
beat 'em
they
ups
have.
would
Dear
advance
God,
to
that
the same dustbin
head.
as other quarter-munching high-score arcade games. Now, while consoles had all but abandoned beat 'em ups, the GBA specifically was one of the last safe havens for the genre. Games like Gekido Advance, Astro Boy, and Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure were all fun, but sadly not enough to invigorate larger-scale interest in the genre. Other games had taken cues from
Oh
beat 'em
my
ups
God.
like Yakuza or the
Definitely.
Batman Arkham games, not to mention the hack-and-slash genre is basically the beat 'em up's edgy younger brother, but to call them proper beat 'em ups
That's
would be
kind
a
of true.
stretch. You
At
can
the same
smell
time,
a
not
beat 'em up a
really.
mile away,
Kinda,
and I don't
they're a
think
lot
anybody's
more
gonna mistake
technical.
this for the next Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninjas.
Bad
However, the
Dudes?
end of the 2000s came and something
What the
wonderful
hell is
started to
Bad
happen.
Dudes?
People were getting closer to death. Nostalgia
Wow.
was finally in vogue with larger developers, and what genre evokes more nostalgia than beat 'em ups?
Yeah,
Platformers,
there's
RPGs,
so many.
puzzle games, racing
Yeah.
games, shooter games. Okay, so
There's a
sixth
lot of
place
them.
isn't bad. That's like a tinfoil medal. See, before this, the last real pulse we had felt from beat 'em ups was in 1996 with Dungeons and Dragons Shadows over Mystara.
Oh.
Between then and now, you could count the number of beat 'em ups
dear.
worth playing on
I didn't
one
know that
hand
was
with
a
about
thing.
3 fingers to
Beautiful
spare.
Joe.
However, come 2008, we got Castle
I
Crashers.
never
2010
played
brought
Beautiful
Scott
Joe.
Pilgrim
I
versus the
regret
World.
it. I'm gonna
Double
play it
Dragon Neon in
someday.
2012, there was a very obvious reason for the comeback of beat 'em ups. See, with
Yeah.
platforms like the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation
Castle
Store
Crashers
making
was fun.
bite-sized console games more acceptable,
Ooh,
beat
I
'em
love
ups with their
Castle
simple
Crashers. I
gameplay
play that
style,
so much
short
with
length, and
friends.
multiplayer
We need to
focus
play
were
that
pretty much
someday.
the perfect games for downloadable titles. From there, we had games like Dragon's
Oh,
Crown,
yeah,
which, despite
Dragon's
being on
Crown.
the PlayStation Vita, does count. Streets
It
of
does.
Fury, but only the parts with a nostalgia critic in it. Fighting Rage, River City Girls, The Takeover,
River
Streets of
City
Rage
Girls
4.
is
And
also
with
pretty
companies
good.
like Capcom releasing bundles of their old
What
games
the
in
hell
beat 'em
is
up
that?
collection, beat 'em ups are well and truly back in full force like they were in the 90s. And who best to solidify that return than the same reptiles responsible for what many say is the best
Castle
beat 'em up
Crashers
of all
was
time. That's right, you
cracked
thought this
out
was the
pretty
only
much.
history lesson you were getting today? You haven't even gotten to the transition yet.
What? Oh my God, Fable. They're all turtles.
Turtles.
There's not a turtle archetype as far as I can tell, but there are a bunch of turtle cards.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I don't know why. There's Turtle Tiger over there in the corner. There's also Catapult Turtle. There's no turtle deck. And there'll never be a platypus deck, Platty. Never ever.
Why not?
Have you ever thought about
Because
how
there's
weird
not
the
even a
Ninja
platypus
Turtles are?
card.
Yes, obviously you have. You have
Oh, I'm
ears
so
that
sorry,
function, so you
Platty.
realize that stringing those four
Yeah.
words together is just a word soup of things that a child may look at and think, yes, very good. You piqued my interest. I think we've all just...
I mean, the Ninja Turtles are just 3 adjectives put on the word turtle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of crazy how big they've become since their humble beginnings as a shoot-off comic.
You mean an underground comic?
Yeah, it's insane. I love these little guys. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, and I could just recite their names automatically. Well, there's also the Kaiju deck. Well, we don't...
Also, question: what do you mean Donatello has bodies? What the frick are you talking about? My man's killing people? The fuck?
No, I'm saying that they've been around a long time and have been alive for a long time. And we ain't getting rid of them anytime soon.
No, that's what someone literally said in the chat earlier.
No.
Let me see. I'll look for it.
I did not see that in the chat. Also, I am drinking sweet tea, if anyone wonders what I usually drink. Either that or water.
Here you go. Here you go. Did you know across Ninja Turtles media, Donatello has got the most bodies? It was Common who said it earlier.
Ah, okay.
gotten so used to the phrase Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that hearing it out loud doesn't even register anymore.
Pretty
The four
much.
Mutant Turtle brothers in the sewers of New York, raised by a mutated rat who taught them kung fu and fight off a living cheese grater who, depending on the year, is
Yeah.
just an edgy Kirby enemy. Okay, proceed.
I
Created
love
by Kevin Eastman and Peter
2001.
Laird in May of 1984 for Mirage Comics, which was just their apartment, but it had a logo.
Oh,
Teenage
yeah, that was
Mutant Ninja Turtles
Mirage.
started life as
Oh
a
my
simple joke
God.
sketch of just that, a Ninja Turtle. Eventually, the sketch got passed back and forth between one another to the point they had all four turtles with their own unique weapons. Revisiting the idea a
Wow.
year later, they decided to make the story an homage to the Frank Miller run of Daredevil comics.
Really?
The way of doing this was by saying, yeah, you know Daredevil's origins? Well, didn't you see the four turtles that were there too?
Oh
And-
yeah, I forgot this. They're technically connected to Daredevil. That's insane.
Yeah, it's also making fun of the fact that in the Daredevil comics, he deals with the hand while the turtles deal with the foot.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
After Lion King 1.5ing their way into an origin story down to swapping out the Daredevil ninja team The Hand for a team called The Foot, Eastman and
Quite
Laird now
literally,
have
yep.
Also, I
3,000
just want to
comics and a
say,
massive problem.
I just want to say this. To those of you that don't know about the specific reason why the turtles have their weapons, it's because of their personalities. I mean, I think a lot of people realize that, but yeah, each one represents their personalities.
Yeah.
Leo's is the fact that he has one day that his actions will have consequences being the leader, so he has to get ready for the fact that sometimes people will get hurt,
Which is why
such
he
as
has
the double katanas.
Which is why he has the most deadly weapon, the one that causes the most precision, but also the most damage.
Yes, it also represents the fact that his leadership will come with consequences, and he has to be ready for that. Let's see. Raphael's, given his nature is very aggressive, his weapons are mostly used for defense, which is kind of funny because he's the most aggressive out of his brothers. Donatello, being a genius and always trying to do technology-based stuff, was given a wooden staff. It seems a bit unfair, but it's actually supposed to help him think on his feet and be very creative with what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And the last of all, Mikey's was given Mikey was given basically nunchucks to help him stay focused because it's actually the weapon that you have to use to be very focused. Yes, he's very scatterbrained.
Yes,
But it's actually funny because if you actually look at how Mikey is, he can still mess around while using his nunchucks.
Yeah.
He's literally found a way to mess around and still use the most weapon you have to concentrate the most with.
Oh, also, hello, Tyr. How are you? It's good to see you. Also, yep, the plushy wolf. Anyway, yeah, that's a lot of what it's about, and also, damn it, I forgot my thought logic, my line of
How
thought.
are we going to get people to buy this?
Yeah.
Seeing as giving them
How
out
dare
at
you.
Halloween was off the table for a few months, they
Oh
decided to
yeah,
take out ads and
I was about to say something real quick while he's going over the ads for basically the comics. What I was gonna say is go watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman. Do it. It's really good. It's a good movie. It's amazingly good. It gives you everything you would want with a title like that. Also, yeah, it's surprising how they have more crossovers with DC than Marvel.
comic buyer's guides to try to drum up support. They ended up playing a full symphony of success as they sold through the original 3,000 copies and a further 6,000. 15,000 copies sold of issue 2 led the pair to take on the Turtles full time, with each issue a bigger success than the last.
I wish I could have
sounds
something
amazing,
like that.
But what's important to remember is that this was indie comic success in the 80s. This was well before independent publishing was something regularly done. Word of mouth is what really saved the Turtles in this time. Before the internet, all they really had were those ads, so they needed the good faith of the people who read the comics to advertise for them. While retaining full creative control, these two managed to put up numbers that turned the heads of a lot of powerful people, including Mark Freeman. He was an agent from the Darklands, proposing a deal for a massive expansion. Now, most people who had tried this before were normally met with an oak door shooting their nose bones into their prefrontal cortex, but on a whim, they'd chosen to hear out Mark. Within 30 days, Mark had gotten them a deal with Playmate Toys, which, while they were excited to work with Eastman and Laird, didn't exactly love the current version of the Turtles. Why was that? Weren't they the Pizza Lovin' Goof Nuggets that we all know
because
and
the
love?
Turtles were okay with killing
The part where
at
they
that
threw
point.
Shredder in the first issue.
Oh, Shredder. In the first issue?
Yeah, and a lot of the actual comics kind of dealt with things like drugs and other such topics. A lot of comics we don't see nowadays deal with. So yeah,
edgy turtles.
Yeah, again, indie comics back 80s, they had a lot of freedom.
So a few changes.
For those that don't know, every time I say "Tonight I dine on platypus soup," I make a reference to Second Mutation, the movie from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Were in order. 1988 was the beginning of the second era of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as the first cartoon was being shopped around to various stations with a 5-part miniseries.
And
they were a lot softer than the original comics, mostly using the origin and concepts from the comics to tell stories more conducive to a Saturday morning cartoon rather than grindhouse body horror. It did bring in its own additions, like several millions of dollars for the people involved. Turtle Mania, a more ethically sourced version of Hulkamania, ran wild on America. Overnight, a gritty little independent comic was the talk of the town. It cannot cannot be overstated how much of a success the Turtles were. People of a certain age know that for a time, if you weren't a Ninja Turtle, you were lame. That success was spun off into a film made for only $13 million. That's a snot rocket's worth of money in Hollywood, and without a major distributor, was actually an independent film.
Really?
Until the Blair Witch
I did not know this.
Was the highest-grossing independent film ever made.
God
the cartoon
damn.
series would continue on until 1996.
Oh, he didn't reference the fact that Jim Henson worked on that movie. Because I feel like that's very important, the master puppeteer. Jim Henson! And with the Shredder's demise so quickly in the comics, probably how it came being more significant there, despite being obscure outside the comics. Didn't have yeah, they originally all had red. Because it's supposed to be the ninja way of making you think that you can clone yourself in a way.
Actually, you want to know something interesting? When the IDW run first started, because Raph was separated from his brothers, Master Splinter had them all wearing red as a way to kind of signify / remember him. But basically, I think it was also to pay tribute to the original Mirage run. But yeah, that was the thing. And then when they got him back, I think in issue 1 or 2, he basically gave them the different colors of the turtles we know.
Oh, cool. But yeah, 2000s and 2012s were really good Warrior of Light.
The Turtles would have 2 more movies of descending quality, with it continuing to balloon into live performances of their album, and then a documentary about said tour based on their album.
What?
Done entirely in kayfabe. They had this smelly prick show off Leonardo's one-string bass guitar like any kids were gonna say, how the fuck is he playing that? Christmas special where the Turtles fought to overcome full-body necrosis by the look of their suits. I mean, they managed to get a pair of wrestlers made in their image named the Toxic Turtles. And for those of you wondering, yes indeed, it did die a death in front of that crowd.
Why is this a thing?
Listen. Turtle Mania was a thing. No question it. Just accept it.
This is quite a lot of
Listen, I love the Ninja Turtles as much as the next guy,
You've managed to reverse engineer America by the late 90s. There was only so much turtle that could be taken in at one time, and the 90s had reached a critical mass. People were, for lack of a better term, completely sick of our half-shelled heroes. That coffin was nailed shut by teenage...
By the way, I've heard the new comics are actually pretty good. But yeah.
It depends on the current... I'm going to be completely honest with you. It depends on who's the current writer, because at the end of the IDW run, the writer had a lot of ideas, didn't implement them properly, and it kind of was a slow death. And it's just really stupid. The current run is really good. However, it's kind of hard to get into because they're doing that thing where, because it's a new run, they're giving a lot of art, they're giving a lot of new artists different shots to see how the fans like it. Some of the art is good. Donnie's the person that took on the Donnie issue, not so much. It's kind of questionable, and I think probably they should work on something else that's not turtle related. But it's cool that different companies do give shots to up and coming writers and artists to try to give them a shot at the business.
I'll say, Fable, I didn't think you have so much to say about the Ninja Turtles.
Dude, the Ninja Turtles have literally been my hyperfixation since I was a kid. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I am honestly a whore when it comes to the Turtles. All right, I'm saying it. I don't care. That's me.
I was just gonna say we should really get Fable an editor and just have him speak out these lines about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles current comic run, and just have the editor do some their magic around what he's saying.
Yes, but at the same time, just know that I will have so many opinions that may go against YouTube's TOS, and I don't give a crap.
Of course you do.
Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation, a continuation of the cartoon done in live action by Hayao Saban, the same guy behind Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
No.
To try to liven up the brand, they added a 5th turtle named Venus, and this was a big
Venus de Milo, one of the best / worst additions to the series.
But he did get a crossover with Power Rangers, so it was almost worth it.
Wow, I did not know about this.
I said almost. From there, Kevin Eastman sold his share in the Turtles to Peter Laird, as they had been working on something that was originally a joke for the better part of 10 years, and he just wanted to do something else
Power
creatively.
Rangers in space, by the way, in case nobody knows.
I knew. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, that's Power Rangers in space.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Rangers in space. Said, are we just turning Fable into a turtle?
Listen, if you guys can get me a PNG of me as a turtle, I will love you forever. I'm not kidding. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Oh yeah, because money, and I forget,
Yeah.
but mostly money.
Honestly, me and a friend who's actually watched Power Rangers should do also videos, which is Medica, of course it is. But yeah. Pretty weird that the Ninja Turtles were overly advertised into ignorance. I guess DC heroes have more nuance than their advertised back then. Oh wait, no, especially not. Apparently, I learned that, well, DC really never cared about Harley Quinn. They just use her for merchandise. I prefer.
Want to know something interesting?
I prefer. Oh, I'm reading comments. Someone get on that. Preferably, I prefer the Power Rangers time. I prefer. Before Time Force, I prefer Lightspeed Rescue, but that's me. Anyway, go ahead.
You want to know something interesting? Venus de Milo was kind of at first only an exclusive to the New Mutation, which was the live-action show of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She actually did come out in the comics. It's just, it's a very interesting way they brought her back into the comics, because technically she wasn't a turtle. She was a punk fraud. She was a punk fraud that was experimented on and turned into a turtle, but technically she's like a weird Frankenstein lady, because she's dead. But apparently they're like, hey, let's add the crazy ass mystic side of it and turn her into like a weird dragon powered turtle lady. I wish I was kidding. When I first saw her in the comics, I'm like, I like her design, and when the artist at the time first announced it, I'm like, are those stitches? I even asked them. They of course couldn't answer because I think it was like one of those NDA kind of things. But legitimately, I'm like, are those stitches?
Oh well.
So yeah, she's a freaking Frankenstein monster. It's kind of interesting. Also incredibly stupid. But hey, it's been years since we saw her, so I guess yay, Venus de Milo fans, rise up.
Also, time for my favorite series of the Ninja Turtles.
2003, and the Turtles are
Yeah!
back with a new show produced by
Teenage
4
Mutant
Kids
Ninja
Entertainment.
Turtles.
TMNT 2003
1, 2,
was a lot
3,
darker
4
than the previous
Turtles.
series, airing alongside
Yeah, it
heavily
was pretty
censored
dark
anime
at times.
like Yu-Gi-Oh! And One Piece. While
Oh,
those
that's
shows
because
couldn't
it's
get away
followed the
with showing
Mirage
a
comics.
buzzsaw,
Oh.
this one got several on-screen deaths, the decapitation of
Yeah.
the Shredder, and the Saturday morning body horror that is Baxter Stockman's entire existence.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to get speculative.
Remember how Baxter Stockman just every once in a while would lose more pieces of himself just off screen?
Yeah,
Dear
that's
God.
because it followed the Mirage comics.
Yeah, Baxter got done dirty. That's because every time he failed Shredder, Shredder just took another piece off, and he kept having to replace more of his
But I
bits and
think
pieces.
there might have been a little bias.
Ah.
The series would go on for 6 years
do you
and
want
6
him to become
seasons with
Baxter
incredibly weird
Stockfly?
breaks where they'd go
No.
to the future and then back to the past.
was just
with
saying.
2007 being an incredibly
know, I'm
odd
asking
time
chat.
where we got another Turtles movie that would air alongside the show, but not be based on it, and it was its own thing.
Turtles
called
in
TMNT.
Time.
If you can get past the fact it's a movie about stone statue hunting demons that coincidentally.
I honestly like this movie. It's actually
That
pretty
movie
good.
was really good. I love that movie. So this is gonna kind of seem kind of dumb, and I don't care if anyone thinks I'm bad at this. Well, I was going to when I was in high school when this came out. Basically, I asked someone if he could make me if he could literally get me a digital copy of it at the time because it hadn't been come out in DVD yet. But yeah, I literally paid like $3 for that copy. I don't regret it to this day.
Yeah, I played the tie-in game. It was pretty good. But yeah, I feel like the story was actually really good, and I kind of like that Leo was coming back from a meditative state and everyone had kind of moved on to what they were doing. And of course, Raph is trying to be a vigilante.
Yeah, because that's just Raph. Raph is Raph.
He's always that way.
Bentley has a Ninja Turtles subplot. It's pretty alright, I guess. After the 2003 show wrapped, Mirage and Laird fully sold the rights to the Turtles to Viacom, owners of Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, this one.
Nick June is back, baby! Nick!
Oh my God.
August! It would be 3 years until the Ninja Turtles
This
finally
one
got a
was
crack at
okay.
another show with Teenage Mutant Ninja
All right, I'm gonna
Turtles
be completely
2012
honest.
variety.
I have a really silly story about this show.
Okay.
So what happened was I got so into the show one time when this one episode where a certain event happened, I was literally gonna cry, and I called and I sent a bunch of messages to my friend, and as soon as she called me, she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was explaining I was crying, and she's like, "What's the name of the show?" And I was like, "It was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." She's like, "Oh my God, I thought you were watching like an anime or like a soap opera. What happened?" I was not kidding. I wanted to cry, dude. I got so invested in this show when this event happened. And my friend literally is just like, "I thought you were watching anime or a soap opera the way you were talking about it." I'm like, "It's important to me."
Honestly,
She's like, there.
when Fable gets connected with a character, he is willing to cry over any little bit that happens to him.
Yeah, but it's just interesting because like I don't connect as easy to characters like my friends do, but I do feel things. It's
For
just
sure about them.
yeah.
Like, I'm surprised he doesn't watch soap operas, but yeah, the show has the most hand. Okay.
I can't. Soap operas are so predictable to me.
Yeah, I know. It's why I prefer actual anime, but yeah, I hope one day me and Fable can write our own series. It'll just take time. Anyway.
There's a lot of talk about which Ninja Turtle show is the best one. There's
Yeah.
the classic one, 2003, or 2012. But at least we can all agree it's definitely 2012.
Oh my God,
2014
no.
marked the return to live action for the Turtles under
Oh
the
yeah,
watchful eye of
Michael Bay.
who mistook the Turtles
Michael
for
Bay's
super
version
mutants and
pisses
made
me
them
off.
look just
Yeah, mistook the turtles for super mutants is right. Dear God. What are
It
these?
pisses me off.
I hate that Michael Bay got so many connections to all this
just
stuff.
so tall, and they had
They're
ugly
gigantic.
faces. I wish they'd stop looking at
My
me.
friend
This was followed up
sometimes
with
sings
Out of the
the song,
Shadows in
and I'm like,
2016, which at least got Seamus to play Rocksteady. So
Oh yeah,
that's
Rockstar
great.
and Beatbox
crap, I
were live
mentioned wrestling
action.
3 times. You know what that means. In
Uh-oh.
2017, this brand of turtles wrapped up, and we got a new show.
Oh yeah,
announced in
Rise of the
2018,
TMNT.
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thank you for naming it something other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I don't have
Yeah.
to awkwardly shove a number into a perfectly fine name. I
Yeah.
haven't personally seen enough of this
Can
show
I-
to draw
can I
my
be
own
honest?
conclusions on it, but I will say.
Can I be honest about Rise?
Sure.
Okay. So here's the thing. We're gonna have a lot of stops because I generally this is a topic I really enjoy. So if that bothers you, eat lemons. Anyway, here's the problem I had with Rise. I feel like it took too long to get good. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but like at start when you first see the 2012 style from CGI to this, it kind of is like a whiplash. The show had a lot of potential and it was really good. It's just by the time it started showing off its amazing potential, it had already gotten canceled.
Well, the main
And like a lot of people slept on it. Yeah.
the main reason people slept on it is because the advertisements did not do it any services. Like quite literally, it made it seem to be like it was like Teen Titans Go for Ninja Turtles fans, and we had gotten too many good shows with too many good characterizations and made us care about these mutant turtles for that to happen. So I was just avoiding it completely because I'm like, oh, they're making it like this. So I passed on it because they did not do it any good. Like, sure, it can be more oriented, but it made it seem like everyone, as one person put, were just Michelangelo.
Yeah, and like here's the thing: a lot of people will defend the fact that they got different personalities compared to how they usually are, which is fine if done right.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the time it felt like Shaq just said, it felt more comedy oriented than action, which can work. It's just you have to find a balance for it. But as the story progressed and the action started picking up and the animation became very fluid, and like we started to see the turtles the way they were supposed to be or the way they could be as they matured, it had been already too late. And then the movie came out and it's amazing. And a lot of people are like, this is because you all slept on it. I'm like, I slept on it. I'm going to be completely honest. I did. And I don't regret it because the show wasn't good in the beginning. It got better, but it just took too long is the problem.
It's the same problem that we're having with, I should say this, with originally the Transformers 1 movie. The reason people slept on it is because the advertisements were not doing it any favors.
Right. The advertisements did it absolutely no justice. It was just like doing stupid memes. It's just like, guys, what is this movie about? Why are you just showing random clips that don't make any sense? Is this how you market nowadays? Because that's not right.
I mean, the 2012 did add a bunch of new things, but yeah, overall, it was a lot like 03, but yeah. Funny enough, even the turtles are different kinds of turtles. Like, Raph is a snapping turtle in Rise of the TMT.
Right.
Yeah. The only design I didn't like was the redo of Splinter. I'm sorry, but I really don't like that design for him.
You don't like Fat Rat Dad?
No. I prefer when he's lean and mean.
Two things. One is
Okay.
that Flying Bark TV animation is making the best TV animation right now. Have you seen this show in Monkey Kid
Yeah,
in motion? Dear
it's
Lord,
crazy
this should
in
be
motion.
illegal. The second is that this show had its back broken by Nickelodeon cutting its second season in half, which is just something that Nickelodeon likes to do after a stressful day.
The biggest problem I will also say about that is Nickelodeon loves to tear apart any good show they get their hands on or any good idea, so it's not completely the viewer's fault, because either way, Nickelodeon loves to do that to anything that isn't SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. Regardless, the Rise series has written to take it on a creative turn. Yeah. Oh, the comics fable. This
Turtle
is your
development
thing.
since was the reuniting of Eastman and Laird after years of not speaking to work together on the critically acclaimed
this is
Turtles
the
comic,
original
The Last
work?
Ronin. Now,
Original
this is a lot
creators.
of info
Yeah.
to take in, but
Yeah.
I'm not an animation channel, no matter what the 35
You wanna
minutes
know
of me
something
talking about
interesting?
animation and...
What?
That is how the original creators wanted the series to end.
Oh.
That's how the original vision of the series was supposed to end, with basically, sadly, the turtles dying, Mikey living up to his potential, and then someone else taking over. That was the original intent, which is kind of crazy, but it made sense.
That reminds me of the series where Mikey was the leader and there was a bunch of kids in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like mecha. And I feel like that could have been a fun series where we like where we look and see where like Donnie or they get trained by a bunch of the different turtles as old men.
Right.
We should make that. We should do that.
Oh dear.
Anyway, if you guys want to see us make a comic like that, tell me down below, because I would love to do that. It's just, I need money to do these things. So please keep watching a lot more of my videos so that I can get the money to make my creations. They're also near and dear to my heart, but yeah.
June would say. We talk about Vidi gems here, and Turtles got lots of them. The
They
first
do.
Turtles game was the creatively titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1989 for the NES. This was a weird transition period where they were mixing and matching cartoon and comic iconography. Cover art was comics turtles with the all-red headbands, but they're color-coded in the game. Shredder is modeled after the comics, but April is cartoon. Oh yeah, and the game sucks too, but I really want to focus on that Splinter sprite art. This is infamous for being one of, if not the worst, turtle game for a lot of reasons. They gave all the turtles their weapons from the show, which is great news for Donatello and Leo, while Mikey and Raph are left in a ditch because their weapons are terrible. The game is filled with impossible jumps, sometimes literally in the case of the DOS version of the game, and then there's the dam level. It's one of the most frustrating levels in the entire NES generation, and had people grading this game as a total dud. Which, in fairness, is fair, so people didn't exactly have high hopes going into the follow-up release the same year. Teenage Mutant Ninja... Fuck you! This was the Turtles' official entry point into the beat-em-up genre, with all the trademarks. Simple but punchy controls,
they did a
all
DOS
four
version,
turtles as selectable characters, beautiful backgrounds, and tough boss fights. This would later be adapted to a pretty faithful one-for-one recreation on the NES, and from there things got exponentially more confusing as the next game released was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4. Excuse me? Yeah, in terms of release dates, it goes Ninja Turtles 1, Ninja Turtles 1, 4, 2, 3. It gets even worse when trying to figure out which game actually builds which number slot. Which Ninja Turtles 1 is Ninja Turtles 1? Is the original NES game 1 and the arcade game 2? Or is it that the arcade game is number 1 and the port is number 2? Is the game called Ninja Turtles 2 actually number 2? Or is it ignored because it was just on the Game Boy? Confusion over how many of these things there were aside, TMNT Turtles in Time is widely considered the best beat-em-up ever made.
I played that. I love that one
Best
so much.
Graphics, best sound, best gameplay, and
it
most
looks good,
importantly,
too.
best port.
It's
Unlike the ports
so
to the
much
NES,
fun.
you weren't stuck with a downgraded reimagining of the arcade game. The
Retro
SNES version was all but perfect. The all but is, of
fine.
course, from the lack of pizza power.
Did you
which
know
was the
Shredder's
theme of the
Revenge
game
is
from the
literally a direct sequel to Turtles in Time?
No, I did not.
Yeah, seriously, Shredder's Revenge, the one we got for on Steam, is literally a direct sequel to Turtles in Time, which I thought is beautiful. And even if that's not true, which I hope I heard that, but if someone corrects me and says it's not, I appreciate it, but this is my canon, so please leave and have a good day.
But yeah, I'm looking at comments. We missed a huge opportunity. Not the Teenage Mutant had full magic phase. Tell me another series of Teenage Mutant to magic. Yeah, we usually go more of the tech angle, do the aliens and the Krang and Usagi and all them.
Actually, what's kind of interesting is in Rise, they actually tried to do more Mystic stuff. Too bad it was probably not the best series to try to do Mystic stuff. Because Rise, yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, it's still funny if Donnie doesn't believe in magic, which is still hilarious because they
That's-
literally deal with they literally deal with mystical problems from time to time.
I would see all of the turtles just looking at him, like giving him that look.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, those are also the monsters from Shredder's Revenge.
Ninja
I
Turtles
remember that.
album. Cannot stress enough they actually went out on
They're
stage
from the
to promote
movie
this.
too, actually.
Turtles in Time,
too.
which had to be abbreviated to 4
Oh,
because
yeah.
well, just
Oh,
look at it,
God,
would
I
become
remember
the
that
most
fight.
iconic Turtle
Yeah.
game. Ask anybody to envision a Turtles game and they would no doubt
General
bring up Turtles in
Krang.
Time. That's
Yep,
half because
and
of
his
how
weird
iconic
robot.
and recognizable it was, and half because the games that came out after didn't really stand a chance of beating it.
Oh.
Tournament Fighter was the next major game
Wait,
released,
what?
and its big claim to fame was the fact that nobody could figure out who this character was meant to be for years and years.
Is
After
it
that, no
Karai?
major Turtle games were released until the 4th and 5th games to be named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2003 to coincide with the new show. These were
Whoa.
4-player 3D beat-em-ups, and
I
for
remember
reference,
this one.
were the games that I started out my own illustrious Turtle careers
This
with.
game was
I think I
terrible.
actually played these before I even knew what the Ninja Turtles were. I really just jumped
I never got
headfirst into
past
this
one of the,
concept.
like,
Didn't see nothing wrong
Robo-Kid
with
boss
this.
fight.
It got its own 2 sequels in Battle Nexus
Really?
and Mutant Nightmare, with each version
Yeah.
getting lower
It's
and
because he kept destroying the barrels, and for some reason my version wouldn't have the barrels come back, so I was just stuck. It's,
That seems more like that seems like a problem more with the game, like your copy than the actual game itself at that point.
I know.
Anyway, go on.
lower scores, with number 2
I remember
being
this dude,
completely
the ancient
shredded.
dude.
After that, they'd stay in a sort
Bishop?
of weird place of, well, we're making
yeah, I don't
Turtles
remember the
games, but I
agent's
don't know
guy's
if anyone's
name.
actually gonna
Yeah,
buy.
Bishop.
Yeah, his name is
Mutant
Agent
Melee
Bishop.
and Smash
Oh.
Up were their attempt to get into the party fighter market. TMNT was a tie-in to the movie,
Yeah,
and then the
it was pretty good.
2012 era started. Out of the Shadows was a disgusting-looking Arkham clone that was one of the games featured at the XBLA
Really?
Summer of Arcade event. This predated the Bay Turtles. They're ugly and horrible in their own way. Whereas the
Ow.
other Turtles games managed to sneak by undetected from the general gaming press surrounding bad games, Out of the Shadows ironically shone a great big light on how bad it
Damn.
was. There was the 2012 series government-mandated tie-in game, which had
Of
all
course.
the depth of the arcade games without any of the charm. There's the 2014 movie game on 3DS,
Oh,
which I'm only
dear
mentioning to burden
God.
you with the knowledge of its
That looks
existence. It's an
bad.
action RPG.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? TMNT Mutants in Manhattan is a game that marked a lot of firsts for the Turtles. It was
Oh.
the first time that a game was fully based
Oh,
on the
dude,
comics,
I'm
being based
so
on the
mad
IDW
about
design for the
that.
characters.
Did this one get
It
canceled?
was also the first time that the Turtles had
No,
teamed
it's
up with the
the
Kings
fact
of
that we
Character Action,
can't play
Platinum
it
Games.
because it was
And
on
this game
Steam,
was
but
dreaded
because
with the
Steam,
style that they bring to
um,
almost every project they work on.
No, the problem is this.
Oh, that was by Platinum? Oh my god.
Yeah, the problem is Platinum Games lost their contract or didn't want to continue working with Steam, so it's not possible to buy Mutants and and Manhattan anymore. And it's just such ass. It's literally, it's not lost media, but it kind of feels like it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's honestly one of my
It
favorite games.
sucks,
that
'cause
there's
I
visually.
wanted
They
to
really
play
managed
this
to
with my
translate a
friends
comic
so
book into
bad,
3D
but
better than
no.
most. It was also the
Yeah.
first Turtles games to rank number 4 on Pro Jared's top 10 worst games of 2016 list, so that's gotta be a good sign. From there, the Ninja Turtles were relegated to crossover games.
Oh
like
yeah, they were
Injustice 2
getting
and the
in
Nicktoons Kart Racer
Injustice
games.
for some reason.
Until finally, in
Yeah, which is kinda
2021,
weird.
they announced a brand new standalone.
It's not the weirdest thing because for some reason the people, I forget the name of the company that makes Mortal Kombat, had just started putting a lot of people in these games. They put so many just like killers in the recent Mortal Kombat 1.
Own game, first with an animated trailer,
Oh.
sadly confirming it wasn't a Next Mutation game. I know a lot of people are tired of nostalgia pander with franchises like this and the Power Rangers treating the original series like the only one worth going back to, but with the Turtles it's a little less egregious, since it
Yeah.
has only 4 main series as opposed to the Power Rangers 200 or so, and those series either being shot in the back of the head but longer ago, or
Yeah.
tied up in legal troubles as it was co-produced by 4Kids. Not only was the actual game
Yeah.
looking gorgeous with the team behind Scott Pilgrim vs. the World tackling it, but
Really?
the
I didn't know
gameplay
that was
looked
them.
much deeper than before. No
I just
quarter
like that they're
circle
working on the
forwards or anything,
computer
but
while
it
they're
had a
doing
lot more
this.
flash to the whole thing. Add on top of that features like 6-player multiplayer and non-turtle characters like April and Splinter, and this was set to be a
Yeah, and
can't-miss
Casey.
title, so much that I didn't. Despite how much I know that this is an odd game for me to be
Yeah,
talking
and for
about.
some reason
First
now
off,
we
this
have
game is
Mona
only a
Lisa
month
and
or so
Mondo
old.
Gecko.
This isn't an obscure GameCube game
Which is
or
so
Disney tie-in game,
strange.
so why I'm talking about it
Yeah,
is
no,
anybody's
well,
guess. this.
literally a
Even more
one-off
so when you
character.
consider I'm not even a big Turtles fan. I mean, I
Really?
watched the 2003 show, loved the 2012
Alright,
show, but other than that,
What did you say, Fable?
That to me.
Oh my god. Babylon's Fall, Platinum's Fall. Yeah, apparently it was originally an alright game until they were forced to change it to something more service heavy. Mondo is not so strange. He fits in.
I mean,
In
I
a
think the
way.
Shredder looks
I mean, I
cool,
guess.
and I own this Kermit Funko Pop.
It's just not
that's
many people
kinda
know
like
about
a Ninja
Mondo
Turtle.
Gecko,
I'm coming
though.
into this game as a bigger beat 'em up fan than I am a Turtles fan, so I think I got
Oh.
a pretty unique perspective on things. Let's see where this game ends up on the chart I rate all games on. Quality of Ninja Turtle live action costume. See, Ultra
Oh.
Kill is a TMNT 1 costume, Baron's like a TMNT 3 or Out of Our Shells costume,
What
and
the
Ultimate
hell?
Tenkaichi is a Christmas special. So the game starts with the same animated opening from the trailer before giving you the option of either arcade or story. The difference is enough that I ended
Yeah.
up playing through both, as well as an additional playthrough of the story mode to test out characters. Speaking of characters, you get the choice of all 6 of them, with Casey Jones being locked behind a playthrough of story mode despite being shown off in trailers.
Oh.
This game innovates on the beat-em-up formula of their characters being tough guy, fast guy, and guy for the person who only picks Mario when playing Mario Kart. Each character has their own stat line that varies them up from one another without enough technical complexity to make them play really different from one another. If you learn a good combo rhythm with one, you learned it for
I get
most
excited whenever I
characters.
see
When I was
Wingnut
younger, I had a
appear in the
massive
game or
little brother
series.
syndrome.
I love that.
Wing nut.
There's so many strange character names like Metalhead, Leatherhead. So, but anyway. But yeah,
He's old Hobbs in the comic. He's a cat. He was literally a cat, and he's a dick.
anyway.
So whenever me and my brother would play games like this, or Teen Titans, or Nicktoons Unite, I'd always
Oh.
stick with one character and refuse to play as any other one. Beast Boy, SpongeBob, I was a real stinker, and for the Ninja Turtles game,
Who
if
is
I
that?
wasn't playing as Leonardo, you can bet I was whining to my mom about it. So we're going in blue for this one. So the game's plot
it's
is
my
summarized
favorite
in a whole
turtle.
subtitle. The Shredder is back, and he
Shredderhead,
wants revenge.
Shredhead.
What for? I don't know. Pick a decapitation and just say it was that. You rush over to the first level and get thrown headfirst into combat. There was a short screen earlier telling us how to play, but I do my best to work on the job. Your main controls are movement, a jump button, basic attack, dodge, and a super attack. You can double tap to dash, can mix jumps
Yeah.
and attacks for air combos,
It's
dive
not
kicks
that
and
in,
launchers, and
like,
can attack out of
intensive.
dodges to keep the pressure up. Then there's the special attack, which can be performed either on the ground, in the air, or while dodging for different attacks. Each one has different properties, like Donnie and Casey pulling people in, Raph and April being able to mix it with their dashes to
Oh
add
my
momentum
God,
and ping
she
pong
just
around
grabs
the
the
stage,
camera.
and the others we are there too. Air attacks usually let out a big area of effect slam to take out a lot of enemies, and the dodge super is great for flying through them. You can build up your super
Damn.
bar by either doing combos or by taunting. For combos, you have to reach a certain
say, like,
threshold of hits to earn
Yosaki
more meter,
isn't
and if you're hit at any
weird,
point
even in
during it, you not only
Japanese.
lose the combo, but the whole bar as well. With
I
the
know.
taunt, you get the whole bar automatically, but get locked in place, which leads to good footage
Who's
to show how at the
Pizza
slightest
Face?
amount of breathing room, I become an
Oh,
insufferable.
there's Chrome Dome. Yeah, I
There
remember.
is Chrome, though.
I remember fighting him. Yeah.
Jerk who taunts at the worst possible moments.
Oh.
It's a fantastic combat system, the perfect party game where anybody can just pick up and play and have fun, either button mashing or trying to string moves together to up their combo. Back to the first level, and we see the game's next big positive. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
The decision
Burn
to go with
found-
sprite-based models rather than 3D ones not only
Just a
adds to the
toy
charm, I
action
mean,
figure
look
in the
at
original
Donatello's
toy
taunt
line.
animation.
Oh.
It's magnificent. But the work that was put into the backgrounds gets put on full display. The level itself
Oh.
in the TV station is super fun in how you get to go from the front desks to the offices through the sets of different TV shows
crazy.
before finally making it to the control center. The levels themselves do a great job of telling a story independent of the actual plot. Part of the
It's
detail I was
amazing
raving
how
about
much
is also in
detail
the
is on
enemies.
here.
You'll find footbots in all sorts of
Yeah.
different situations, like typing at computers, talking on phones, even working on the shows themselves. It's a good thing they're so charming since they make up the lion's share of the enemies in the game. You'll fight some other guys like Mousers,
Mousers.
Stone Soldiers, this f***ing thing, but for the most part,
Ugh.
you're gonna be fighting this Crayola collection of ninjas. The standard grunts without a weapon are a little more than combo fodder, but the ones with tonfas that fall from the ceiling can seriously piss off. So many combo strings were ended by these guys just coming out of nowhere. There are also
Yeah.
these shield guys that require you to either get behind them or do a heavy swing to kill them. It's less thinking critically on how to take out an enemy and more frustrating. I am playing an arcade
sense.
beat 'em up specifically to avoid thinking. They are lucky they are so much fun to hit, or we might have issues. When you
True.
eventually make it to the end, you square off with Bebop in the first boss battle.
Ah,
Luckily,
Bebop.
something not preserved from the classic beat 'em up era is the boss fights being unfair horse. Bebop has a few
Yeah.
simple attacks, shooting his gun, sending in henchmen, and his charge attack. I will say that with the jump being just a little sluggish, these attacks can be annoying since your lateral movement options kinda don't exist. The dodge has horizontal movement down pat, but moving up and down fast, it's just not happening. He's no trouble though as we take him down. Before we
Great.
can take back Krang's head though, Rocksteady hops in and steals it anyway.
There he
Before
is.
we get to the next level, we do have to see what makes story mode and arcade mode so different. We're not only getting a cute overworld, but we also get to visit April's boss and get tasked to collect his old headlines for points. What do the points get you? Shouldn't you be grateful you're just getting points in the first place? Not just that, but we also have challenges to complete for each stage. They can vary
No
from
offense, I
throw
recommend
enemies at
the
the
fan
screen,
game
don't get grabbed in the
Rescue
stage, don't
Puzzle,
fall down holes.
Pure fan
Don't
beat
get
'em up.
hit for the
Nice.
entire stage.
Oh,
Of all the challenges,
don't
this
get
is the
hit
one
for
I
the
never went back
entire
to try. With
stage?
how many enemies
No.
can fly at you from out of nowhere, sometimes you need to know where enemies come from specifically on each screen to avoid damage. I think the challenges are a fun addition that encourage you to use your whole toolkit, but the never
they stole
get
the wheels
challenges
off
just
the-
elongate the game
I can't remember the
worst
name of
way
their vehicle.
possible. But you know, you could just not do it. The challenges don't give you anything except a way to
forgot
test
it
your
too,
skill. They're the
actually.
definition of optional. I'm not even sure if you get points out of them, so they're worthless. On to level 2, and we're right where the last level left off.
Oh.
Outside the TV studio with the wheels of our ride being
The
stored.
access
This
has
level
not been
introduces
good
more
in beat 'em
power-ups to
ups.
play with,
Yeah.
like the maximum pizza that lets
It's
you
never
go
been
nuts on a
good to
group of
have
enemies
the
with a
access
super
to
move,
this.
and the infinite power pizza that lets you use your super moves infinitely for a short time. You can also see another difference in this mode to arcade mode as we level up. When you reach a certain threshold of enemies defeated, you level up and get an upgrade to a base stat. Either more health, more lives, get another bar to do super moves, or access to the aerial and dodge supers. This is a fun way to give you more boosts the more you go on without complicating the experience too much. It's not something like Scott Pilgrim with active RPG elements, they're more like random bonuses you get for doing a good job. As you go through the level, you can find new ninja variants like the yellow ones that toss boomerangs and the pink ones that wind up for a big hit. The boomerangs can be annoying to deal with since you
They're
actually have to
throwing,
slide under them, and the pink ones are just good practice for throwing, which
forget what
I
they're called.
don't really like, since there isn't a dedicated grab button. Instead, you just run into the guys and then toss them. You're never
Suplex
invincible during
them.
this whole process,
Yeah.
but you sure are vulnerable.
German
Don't
suplex.
throw,
that.
it's suboptimal. As you go through the level, you find not only Irma, who has her own set of collectibles,
Who's
but
Irma?
also see ninjas stealing more and more car parts. Which leads
character
us
in
right
the
to
original
Rocksteady,
show.
who's taking them all to build
She's
the turtle
essentially
tenderizer.
April's friend.
Rocksteady isn't much
And
different
depending
from
on the
Bebop,
series,
just a
she
little
might be a
trickier thanks
Krang.
to having a spread
It's kinda
shot
weird.
blast and grenades along with his charge attack. Another
Yeah, that was
quick
a thing in
bop,
the
and he and
2012
Bebop
version.
retreat into the finished car, which takes us into Mutant.
Oh, that's what they were stealing
this
the car
is a
parts
skateboard
for.
level just like out of Turtles in Time. Visually, it's incredible
gamers
as
are
you get to
gonna
see all
be
the
all
detail in the
spoilers.
background as
Play
they
the
fly
game first.
past.
We've already played the game. Like, me and Fable have beat it. We went with our friends Raikoi and Karst.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you're gonna watch something like this, of course it's gonna be fucking spoilers. What?
Don't worry, we'll be...
I'm sorry to be rude, but it's the thing.
Anyway,
Gameplay-wise,
Yeah, being
backgrounds
mad
are really pretty. Yeah, this level
sure.
isn't the best when it comes
we
to
have this game. I
playing
played this
it.
game.
The skateboard is a little harder to control than your regular turtle, and the majority of the enemies in this level are these little fly guys. who
Oh,
want to
yeah,
get up
I
and
hate those
fly
guys. They're
attacks,
made by
which makes
Baxter,
them
obviously.
Just that little bit harder to land hits on than you think they'd be. Spectacle-wise, I think it makes up for it fine enough, but this level has the challenges to not be hit and not to be hit by any obstacles.
Oh.
Easier said than done when they're flying in from out of nowhere. The boss is against the turtle tenderizer, and sadly, the
Oh,
jank
it's
of
called the
stage
turtle
translates to the
tenderizer?
boss fight.
I forgot
Getting
about
close
that.
enough to the car without taking damage is hard,
Bebop
especially when
and
the actual
Rocksteady,
hurt box
of
of the
course
car
it's
is almost
something stupid
impossible to
like
pin
that.
down.
Yeah.
I can't tell if the body of the car even hurts you or if it's just the wheels that do. I almost end up losing all my lives, but thankfully it's over and we move on. A quick note
Right.
while we're all here, all 4 of the original Turtle voices are back for this game, which is a treat.
Really?
Cam Clark needs to be protected at all costs.
Florida man offers $10,000, $10,000 for safe return of his stolen monkey.
What the hell?
Well, I will offer you a lot.
However, April, Splinter, Casey, and Shredder all have new voice actors who only show up in the additional voiceover section, which, cold-blooded, but okay. Everyone still sounds fantastic, except Shredder.
Oh.
Destroy the turtle.
Yeah, he doesn't sound as threatening here.
I don't know, man. That's not what I hear when I think Shredder. He sounds way too young to me. I'm probably just spoiled on James Avery, Scotty Ray, and Kevin Michael Richardson and all
They were all
honesty.
really good.
I brought back some takeout, so let's get down and pig out.
Alright,
hell?
voiceover professional who applied their craft in a job I can only ever dream of. Let me show you how it's done. Alright, this is my Shredder audition.
Okay, well, okay, here we go. Let's see.
Pesky turtles. Alright, please cast me. I'm kind of between jobs right now. On to level 4, and after their car crashes,
that
someone
was
abducts
horrible.
Bebop while Rocksteady runs away with Krang's head. Here we're introduced to the
God.
whip ninjas who can hold you in place and let the other ones wail on you. We also have to deal with the archer ninjas who fire a single arrow and decide their job is done as they just leave. You also get to see
love
me,
that.
but as a foot soldier. This level takes place in a zoo, which has a great atmosphere with the animals
Guys, this is
stampeding
perfect.
through, monkeys throwing
Really gotta
bananas
be
from
a
behind
good
their
moment.
bars, and a
Yeah.
bunch of cute background animals. Not only do we find more journals for Irma and headlines for April's boss, but you also find a disgusting bug. Who the heck is that?
Oh.
Showing my turtle naivete here for not immediately
Attila.
recognizing one of the punk frogs. Same goes for the boss, Ground Chuck and Dirtbag. These are like
Never heard
Kickstarter
of them
backer
before.
characters, right? Like that Undertale Vor guy. They're a tag team, boss, where you gotta take on both members at once.
I had never heard of
Dirtbag
them
spends
before this
most of the
game.
fight buried underground, making holes for you to fall
course
in
he's
and
called
flashing his helmet
Dirtbag.
light to blind you, while Ground Chuck stays above ground, being an actual threat. He has Rocksteady and Bebop's charge attack while mixing it with horn missiles. Since he doesn't get dazed when he
Can't
hits the
unhear
wall,
the
it's a lot harder to
shirt.
find a good time to get a shot in.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. The best Shredder voice is definitely from 03. That is just truth. He is the most threatening. He is the most vicious. He is ready to murder the turtles in cold blood for any reason.
It does make it a thrilling fight. Bebop and Rocksteady
They
gave
went
you
over
plenty
this
of room to
been
breathe.
good a day.
These guys don't give you an inch. After disposing of them, we follow Krang's head underground for King of
Oh.
the Spill, where a bunch of rats steal it. This
Of
level
course they
takes
do.
place in the subway, so we have to spend a good amount of time worrying about the Red Line train actually running on time for once and turning us into roadkill. These pink ninjas love to enter the screen by throwing shurikens and will retreat every now and again to do the same. They are one of the worst for ruining combos and should be a priority. It's New York-style pizza. I bet it's still
Makes
good
sense.
after being run over by a train. Huh, it's actually better. We also get the Mousers as enemies for the first time, which are really just more combo
I do
fodder
love
that
that.
can latch onto you and leave you vulnerable. There are also massive Mousers that can vomit up more if you leave them
Good
alone.
moment.
We
This
find
much-
yet another punk frog, and I'm so excited that I'm forcing Future Jack to put in the first piece of art that comes up when you Google punk frog fan art. This is
What?
legally binding and cannot be deleted from the script.
What the hell? Legally
The boss for this
binding.
level is the Rat King, who is the first just a guy in the whole game so far. The fact
I
that he's
know
not
nothing
also
about
a
him.
rat is astounding. His fight is the simplest so far, as he has two
Oh, he's
attacks,
the-
either
oh,
football
yeah, he has the
tackling
Pied
and
Piper
throwing you,
thing.
or summoning a wave of rats. And
I've
what a
explained
belt
so many
buckle in sight. What
times
is the
in
point to
the
do?
2000,
The rats are like death by 1,000 cuts.
in
They'll
the
latch onto you
IDW
for a
comic,
second like
he
the
is
Mousers
not
and take
just
off
a
a
guy.
single
He's
tick
like
of
a
health.
weird god. It's weird.
He's the god of rats or something?
He's not a god per se, but he's like a mystical being with a bunch of others. I still say he's essentially the main protagonist, antagonist of what do you call it?
Of the newest game.
Of the newest game, yeah. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't care what anyone says. He is.
Before flying away.
No,
you don't
he's
really
not
care
Sun
about it
Wu-
at
he's
first
not
until
Rat
the Rat
Sun
King comes in
Wukong.
with the
He
throw to deal the
wishes.
real damage. The only real
does look
problem
like
with the
he
fight is how
wishes.
when you have the Rat King cornered, he'll jump away and be free from damage for a few seconds, which can get old when he's close to death and just barely escaping. He still gets his butt kicked all the same
Yeah.
as Rocksteady shows back up to steal the head. I
course he
love
does.
April's sprite here. She's just pointing like, you'll see in this The next level is in the mall, with us starting outside and having to work our way in from the food court all the way to the arcade. Here we see Foot Clan members just trying to function in normal society with those
my God.
dastardly toidles ruining it. We get introduced to the Super Spider Bots, which I can only imagine
Toidles.
made a super
Yeah.
rad toy.
Get
They
those
can be a real pain to
turtles.
take down if you forget you have a dodge button, which, shock of shocks, I did for a little. I have to get a little funky with how I handle this stage, since one of the challenges is to clear it without using any super moves. I have to rely more on throws and environmental attacks. These dark blue ninjas have maces that make them almost impossible to approach and give them a really strong attack, but leaves them
Oh.
vulnerable once they use it. They're like the
Alright.
shield enemies, but more fun to fight since you have more options to deal with them, like sliding under their mace when they swing it. Not only do we find April's co-worker Vernon in this stage, but the third of hopefully 20 more punk frogs. Keep them coming, baby. I love it.
Napoleon.
This level ratchets up the difficulty a fair bit by throwing a lot more enemy waves at you between health pickups,
And the
including
spiders.
2 of these big
Horrible.
spiders. But it's clear when we get to the boss why that
Again,
is.
Shredder
The boss
is an
of this stage
accountant.
is the
Wait,
gamer
what?
girl that all other gamer girls look up to, Tempestra. I say it becomes clear when we get to the boss because, save for
I
one
know
later on,
nothing about
Tempestra is
her.
the easiest boss in the game. She has 3 attacks, summoning one each of either bootleg Bebop or Rocksteady, summoning them both at once, or making a little electrical field. These
Oh.
two only have 1 attack each, which
Yeah,
is either
these
a
are from
super
the
easy
movie.
to dodge belch or spinning around on the
Second
ground. And when they're out at the same time,
mutation.
they can actually interrupt each other.
Or
Great
new
teamwork,
mutation,
guys.
sorry.
She's an absolute cakewalk of a boss. Then this random foot soldier comes in like he didn't realize the level was over and gets out. Turns out we were duped since the arcade machine actually had Krang's body in it, and Bebop and Rocksteady make off with it. Roof Runnin' Reptiles is next, and since it takes place on the New York skyline, it's full of bottomless pits, which of course the level tasks you with never falling in. Thank you very much, stage. We get introduced to the Lime Ninjas who have spears that will charge directly
Make
into
all
you.
about the
Eventually
foot
we end up
soldiers
on an
working
elevator
out
with
of the
enemies
shop.
endlessly
That's what
spawning
you
until we
mean.
get to the top.
That's
There's an
fighting a
infinite
video
energy
game
pizza
character with a
right
video
in the
game.
corner, but I know better and save it till there aren't enough enemies to make good use of it, and with the one shot I do get off. I play games for a living, folks. That's what you signed up for. After that, you run into these white ninjas
God.
who are the only ones that know what they're
I mean,
doing.
I
and
wish I
counter
played
your
games
hits.
for a
They're
living.
extra tricky since there's no real way of telling when they're just going to counter hit whatever you try.
We all
The
do.
best time to attack is when they're about to go for a
Oh.
jump slash since they can't defend themselves. Once you get to the end of the level, it's time to fight against Bebop and Rocksteady at the same time. It's exactly that, taking on both Bebop and Rocksteady in tandem, except for Bebop's new attack where he breaks his gun and fires it all over the place.
Oh,
The best
that's-
part is
I
that you
remember
lure
one.
them
I
into
hate
doing
that.
the dash attack at the same time, and if they run into each other, they'll get dizzy. It's a
Oh.
wonderful touch, and it's honestly a really fun boss fight for how it tests you. This is level 1 and 2's boss.
They are both
at the same
idiots,
time,
so it
and
makes
you're
sense they would
handling
hit each other.
Now that they're out of commission, Wingnut, who I'm
Yeah.
only 50%
Oh.
sure was in the original cartoon, takes off with the torso, and we have to chase him through the
Wingnut.
skies. Panic in the Sky is another
This is-
skateboard style of level, but with a lot more of
This
these ninjas
this
and
literally
minigun
Panic
jetpacks.
in the City
It's
is
another
such a
stage that asks you to do
freaking
it
good
hitless,
song.
which, no, thank
Like
you,
it
I
is
have a life
so
I'd like to get back to
Saturday
eventually.
morning cartoons vibes. It is beautiful.
Stop laughing. Just like the other board level,
Wait,
it's
wait,
stuffed
wait. What did he say earlier? We didn't catch
with
it.
hitless, which, no thank you, I
Yeah,
have a life I'd like to
hitless
get
is
back
really
to
hard
eventually.
to do that on this.
Stop laughing. Just like the other
Oh,
board level, it's
about
stuffed
having a
to
life.
burst with traps, but luckily you can lure foot soldiers into
This
the
is a
way
really
to
good
take the hit
song.
for you. There's an
Also, there's the Ninja
yeah,
Turtle
no.
blimp in the background. Surfs up in the city. I'm fired up and feeling gritty.
extended section of dodging
Yeah, it is
missiles, which is super tense
seriously
without being
Saturday
annoying like
morning
some of the other
cartoons
challenges.
vibes. It's
And also, this
beautiful.
may just
Yeah.
be me being a moron, but my depth perception is
Oh,
busted.
how
'cause I
did you
keep
miss
thinking I'm
that?
in line with the pizzas,
His
when in
depth
reality I'm
perception
continuously
sucks.
missing
I
them,
guess
which
so.
is really great when I'm low on health. It's really annoying, but there's actually something in the stage to help you calm down.
What?
Game soundtrack is amazing.
He's
T.
right.
Lopes, the man responsible for the best part of Sonic Mania, is back to make the soundtrack
Oh!
for this game, and it's on another
Cool.
level. Every stage has an instantly recognizable beat to it, with some mixing in the original Turtles theme, with others being all original
Turtles
and
find
super
space
catchy.
for a whole
Some
blimp.
songs
I
so
don't
far that I've
know.
loved are the Mall level, Roof Running Reptiles,
I
and the
don't know,
two board
buddy.
levels, since they're vocal. Mutants Over Broadway is fantastic, but Panic
This-
in the Sky is just...
Yeah. It feels like something the original Power Rangers would have. And it's great.
This is the theme of Wingnut! Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Wingnut more than makes up for the easier bosses before him. He has a missile salvo
It's
to
a
keep
really
you from getting
good
up close,
song.
a shield attack to keep you
It
away,
is.
and the worst of his attacks is the one where he flies all around the screen. It's super hard to predict where he's gonna show up, but jumping around like a
Yeah.
maniac is probably the safest way to avoid him. Crisis on Coney Island comes next, and
Oh,
right off the bat, it
Leatherhead.
introduces more new enemies, like the plunger guys who have crappy melee range but can
Ugh.
snipe you from across the screen if you don't focus on them. Same with the glaive.
I like that
ninjas.
Wingnut is
Their
just
attacks
in the
hit hard and
ground.
launch you, but they get stuck in the ground
Don't
after
worry about
missing.
it.
It's while haphazardly attacking anything that moves that I... Oh, yes, my favorite!
Uh-oh, why am I here?
Buddy, to be the best part of the game. Later on, these black ninjas show up who are like the light pink ninjas, but a lot
Rasputin.
tougher. This stage is also one of the best visually. Having the whole thing take place in an amusement park shockingly opens it up to a lot of visual variety and fun progression, like starting out on the beach, going through the boardwalk,
just
and
in the
eventually getting to the
background.
games. It was also here that I
I'm gonna clip
realized
that.
that the
I'm too
foot
busy
soldiers
laughing
can
my
slip on
ass
the water
off.
that the hydrants leave. This game is too charming for its own good. After that, you get a mini game of blowing up punk frog balloons. Okay, I'm starting to think the devs had a sick obsession with the punk frogs. I've gone from knowing nothing about them to knowing more than I ever wanted to.
Listen-
After that, and getting launched
Listen,
by...
everyone's allowed to
There's
have
not,
the. Oh, go ahead.
there's really not much to know about them at one point, to my understanding and my knowledge of the old cartoon. Oh, sorry, the '87 cartoon. They only came out like once or twice, and it was mostly just dealing with Louisiana Leatherhead. So he had the accent and everything.
Of course, he had the
You know which one I'm talking
Louisiana
about.
accent.
Yeah,
oh,
he
I'm
had
just
the Cajun accent.
I'll do
Yeah.
another thing about now doing now. I'm about to make a name for myself now on our fable. I'm about
Yeah,
to.
he literally had the Cajun accent. The over
Ca-
exaggerated one.
The Cajun accent is a lot harder to do than like the Mississippian or the Texan. It's a lot because it's a lot fluider.
By one of the floorboards
Yeah.
for the umpteenth time in the level, we square off with the boss, Leatherhead. He has a Cajun accent, which I'm fairly certain is the only accent made to be completely inimitable. I've tried, and the results are embarrassing. Leatherhead is barely the focus of his own boss, as every couple of seconds, the punk frogs ride past on a roller coaster to throw out items. Some of them are helpful, like pizzas, while others are explicitly to try to kill me to take over my multimedia
I guess the
franchise.
players did
Nice
just
try,
really like the
jerks.
punk frogs.
Leatherhead is super simple. He'll try to pop out of one of these grates and chomp you before he misses, and you get to wail on him a bit. Just as I'm about to finish him off, the frogs come back in and kill steal me with a barrel, you slimy scumbuckets! Also, one of their lines when they ride past is... A few screws loses next and starts off with a lot of vehicular toilside as I'm hit by a bike and a car within the first few seconds. This stage has a much bigger focus on the robot enemies like Mousers than the other stages, including these Mega Mousers that spit out mini Mousers when destroyed. The level takes you from the alleyways into the packaging center of a big warehouse before finally getting to an old electronics store taken over by the Foot. If I had to be mean, I'd probably say this is one of the least memorable levels in the game. It's on the short side and its theme just isn't as strong as other levels. It does have nice set pieces like some
the punk frogs won't revenge against Leatherhead.
But I just wish there was a little more. Thankfully, that's made up for with the boss fight against Metalhead. He's got some far-reaching attacks,
it's my
moves to
favorite
make up
boy,
long distance and
Metalhead.
discourage
I
wailing on
know.
him, and a fun section where he
I
throws
love
up a shield
him.
and
He's
forces
so
you to hit a
stupid.
missile back at him to disable it. Turns out he was guarding Krang's legs, and we get back on the hunt all the way to Dinosaur Stampede. Here we squabble
these
with
guys.
a whole new breed of enemies, the Triceratons. If you ask
The
me which
alien
characters first appeared in the
Triceratops.
comics and not the cartoons, Triceratons would firmly be off that list, but no, these guys came from the Murder Turtle comics. Triceratons are tanky, hit hard, and can dash in from off-screen like Bebop and Rocksteady. After fighting fodder for the whole game in the Foot Clan, Triceratons are a great way to keep you paying attention, especially when you realize they come in variants with shields that need to be broken and can even poke you out of the air with their horns. Putting enemies like this in makes sure that the game doesn't become too brain dead and you actually have to think a bit more critically about how you're prioritizing enemies. Now, I know earlier I said that I'm doing this to avoid thinking critically, but it changes up a little bit when you get further into the game. Not to mention that the stage taking place in a museum means there's no end to the variety of environments. You go through a dinosaur exhibit, to a storage area, to a medieval room, to an interdimensional portal.
And like the footman,
You know,
and
after
then just
battling
get
through
caught
the
in
rest
it.
of the stage, you square off with Captain Zorak, who takes the best aspects of all the other Triceraton enemies, like the Blaster and Shield, while mixing them with a constant stampede of dinosaurs. Hey, wait a minute! Strangely, despite being a Triceratops, he might have the least amount of health out of all the enemies in the game.
Oh, he's a
since it only takes
commander.
a few hits to put him on death's door. After we batter him, we're on to the next stage.
we know who it
won't
is.
Fly. This level is under the museum and is in the
Baxter
Foot's secret
Stockman.
lab. This level...
You mean
So
Baxter
it's not exactly
Stockfly.
hard,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
frustrating, since it feels like
I will
every
have
screen
you
comes
only
with a
say
new
his
hazard.
name
Not this one, it's
in
just
the
over
right
these
way.
doors. I'm talking about these little sparks in the ground. They look like background
my
elements,
presence,
but
other
if you
than
touch
that, you
them,
are
you get
allowed
a
to
shock.
say it wrong
You can
the
turn
other
them
way
off by
out.
destroying this box in the background, but
Oh yeah, he
that's
is about
exactly what I
destroying
thought
this
it was,
box.
just a background element. After that is a room where the ground is constantly vomiting up these fly guys, then a room where 80% of the floor is untouchable since it's taken up by these rotor
I
blades.
hated
And the
this.
only positive is that the enemies are more likely to step on them than you are. There's a room with freezer machines that stops you dead in your tracks, electric wall traps. This stage goes
I
crazy
remember
with
this.
traps, and it makes it more annoying to revisit than anything. It has positives. I love the music and the background of the foot soldiers getting paint
Oh, yeah,
jobs.
that's
Great,
funny.
But my general apathy for the stage sadly
Baxter
extends
Stockman.
to the boss. Baxter Stockman spends
Stockfly.
most of the fight either in the air,
God.
making swatting him significantly harder, or in the background
I
with
forgot
a
he
shield
had
firing
lasers.
lasers in places I'm not even. It's my least
screaming
favorite
Fuga
stage,
right
but
now,
at the
but
very least
instead
it
I'm
doesn't take
enjoying
more than
this,
a
so
few
you're
minutes.
so you're
We
at
figure
fault.
out that we're too late as
my
Baxter's
God.
reassembled Krang's body and runs off to Dimension X. Technodrome Redux.
forgot
is up
Dimension
next,
X was a
and right
thing.
off the bat, this level has my favorite stage theme. I love the synth beat and having a weird raspy voice just repeating. is all
Don't do the
We're introduced to
Technodrome.
2 new enemies off the bat. The first is the orange foot soldier who can throw bombs that cut off a part of the screen until they blow up. And then there's the stone soldiers. They're like the Triceratons with their charge attack where they're invincible until it finishes, and they come in 2 variants, basic and packing heat. Luckily, they crumble real easily in radical mode. Give up all 3 bars of super to get super strong attacks for a limited time. The actual level is really fun. The Technodrome is clearly falling apart, but it's still full of laser weapons, traps, and generally looks really nice. Once we get on an elevator, we have to fight the first mid-boss in the game, General Trag. He's a supersized stone soldier with a rocket launcher who tears apart the Technodrome for shielding. He can be a real challenge since he has great attacks both up close and from afar, but if you keep hitting him, eventually he'll die. The second leg of the stage plays more into the dilapidated feel with broken screens, giant chasms, and this one ninja who decides that life isn't worth living anymore. Once we get to the end of the stage, we have to fight Chrome Dome, who at first seems invincible as none of our attacks even phase him. It's only after he jumps into the screen and goes full Battletoads that we find out how to hurt him. This is his favorite explosive barrel in the whole wide world, and if we blow it up, he becomes inconsolable.
It took us a bit to figure that out.
I don't know why destroying the barrel is the trigger for him to be hittable, but it took me a few lives to realize it and left me fighting way more ninjas than I needed to. It's a cool and unique fight, but maybe a control console or something else comes up, something you immediately recognize as important. Since he's not in the Technodrome, we head off to hunt Shredder down in the jungles, but we did find all of Vernon's tapes, and there's 100 points in it for us if we return them. Points! The Lost Arch Enemies is next and starts off with another hoverboard level over a chasm dodging meteorites. I think the game gets a little excited and throws a few too many, but who am I to judge? It's a little harder to really judge how the level progresses along like the other stages. I've never really been to volcanic asteroids, so I'm just gonna assume that it's a really good recreation. You do get to see Slash in the background of quite a few parts of the stage, so there's that. The level does take a nosedive, however, when we get to these things. They sit on the ground and leap out
I don't know what they are.
The window of opportunity to hit them being minuscule if you dodge,
They're horrifying.
and leave you vulnerable if you try to hit them. It gets worse when they
Why do
attack
it look
and
like
pass
he's
since you
trying
have
to
even
teabag
less
the
room for
camera when
error.
he jumps
Also,
towards
we
it?
are in
I
an
don't
alternate
know.
dimension. Why are there still foot soldiers attacking me with mechanic tools? We deal with a few more stone warriors and foot soldiers on the way to the boss fight with Slash, who has a very upsetting amount of turtle skulls in his lair. He wields swords just like Leo and
who's
tries to spin
Slash?
after us, but he doesn't get very far and gets dizzy
Depending
afterwards.
on the media, he's essentially evil turtle.
Oh.
He's much better at lobbing giant rocks and spinning in a shell, which doesn't make him dizzy. Wow, really expected more logical consistency from Teenage Mutant
of course.
Ninja. I retract my statement. After Slash, we finally get entrance to Krang's hideout in
Slash started out
Outworld
as a
Strange
dum-dum in the show.
This
and
stage has a
episode
similar
later, he
theme to
became
the
super
Baxter
intelligent.
Stockman level,
Of
and
course
as the
he
final
did.
full level in the game.
The reason I
doesn't
say
mess around.
depending
The
on the
second
media
screen
is
has you
because
taking on
he's
multiple
different every
Spider-Bots
time.
and
He's
some of the
evil
toughest
a
foot
lot
soldier
of
variants
times,
like the
but
pink and blue
he's always an
ones.
evil
You take
turtle.
on
It's just
stone
different
soldiers,
things.
Mega Mousers, white and black foot soldiers, all
In
at once
the
in rooms fit to
2012
burst with
version, he
traps
was
like
literally Raph's pet turtle, which is kind of weird and very meta, but yeah.
Kind of weird, yeah. Bizarro turtle, basically. Yeah. There's also in the Turtles in Time, there were these group of 4 mutants, clone turtles that were supposed to fight the turtles, but they never really did, but yeah.
spike floors. It's easily the most challenging level, but
I
unlike the
just remember
Stockman level,
those.
doesn't completely overwhelm you with traps you can't
Why do I
fight back
remember
against.
those?
Plus, it's more
Lots of
fitting
traps.
for this in the last level rather than level 12. The Triceratons even show back up, and you notice that they make a little pitter-patter noise when they run.
Really? I never noticed that.
Adorable. We get further in and don't do this to me, game. The level also is an endurance test with much bigger gaps between health items. You get rooms where they test exactly how many Mousers is too many Mousers, and a final power
Well,
piece
this is a
away before
team
getting
beat 'em
to
up.
Krang. We've spent the whole game trying to stop him from getting his body, and this fight certainly makes it feel climactic. Not only does Krang have his own boss theme, but the body itself has plenty of attacks, like splitting itself up, kicking, shooting out a flail. It's a thrilling fight, but we beat him all the same. However, the fight isn't over just yet.
Oh, yeah.
You fell for my diversion. I
What?
have a surprise for you.
Oh, yeah, this part.
I will show you how a
Shredder.
true ninja fights.
The real boss.
The world is mine.
Ready for
So there's a certain
revenge.
genre of music I can't get enough of, and that's hit jazz. You aren't ready for where this next sentence is going, but I promise it explains everything.
Does
Dragon
it?
Ball FighterZ is a phenomenal game with a phenomenal
What?
soundtrack. Look out for Goku Black's theme. It's gonna be the sound of the summer. One of the characters in the game is Hit. Tough, no-nonsense assassin character. Never jokes, is not silly, kills Goku, tough dude, right? What do you think Hit's theme song sounds like?
Oh! It's this kind of jazz. I love it. It's like Cowboy Bebop jazz. And
That's
the big
right,
O.
the assassin gets a completely unfitting jazz track. Scientists are still trying to figure out an explanation, but somehow, the fact that it doesn't fit him in any way at all wraps back around to it fitting
No,
him
the Academy.
perfectly.
Why didn't
Take
James
the
Shredder
Knuckles
try
rap
cloning
for
the
another
Turtles?
great example of
I
hit
don't
jabs.
know,
All of this is
actually.
to say that the Shredder being played in by Ghostface Killer and Raekwon the Chef of the Wu-Tang Clan makes no sense and makes perfect
Wait,
sense.
what? This was made by the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yes, we told you when we were playing the game.
I'm
actually.
sorry, I forgot, okay? I just didn't expect to remember that it came from the Wu-Tang Clan to be singing about the Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles.
Yes.
Okay. This is my life now.
We Ain't Came to Lose is my favorite track. It's so good and the lyrics are
We
too
came to
perfect for
lose.
this world. If you let it play long enough, you even get to hear the lyrics switch to the Turtles' perspective. It's an amazing touch on an amazing boss. That's all without talking about the fight itself. They give you a pizza to heal up, but having to take on two bosses back to back is daunting, and Shredder solidifies his position as top dog. He can counter your hits, send you flying with lightning, avoid you with dive kicks, and worst of all,
Damn.
summon shadow clones. If you don't pay attention, you can lose track of the real one and
Thumbs
get
up.
pummeled real quick. You'll eventually overcome
hit
him,
is
but
cool
it
like
is a
that,
thrill
yeah.
of a fight. However, you're not done yet. Shredder and Krang get away as we return
yeah.
to New York to see Krang took over the Statue of Liberty. More like Statue of Tyranny, am I right?
It looks like a...
Okay, game, I'll let you have this one.
I just like that it says Statue of Tyranny, no more liberty. Also,
Oh my goodness.
Also, the first way it fights, it looks like it's a Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
This is the most imposing boss
It really
so far. It
does.
takes up a good percentage of the screen. So I just wish it was a little tougher. Every one of the statue's attacks is a simple affair of either moving up, down, or jumping to dodge. None of the attacks really keep you from wailing on it. Even the fist slam is deceptively easy. It's still a super fun fight, and it's the best thing since JoJo's to include the national anthem as part of their boss theme. I
Wait,
just
what?
wish there was a little more challenge to it. After it's done, you're far from finished as Shredder takes Mutagen and goes Super Shredder. The
Oh.
final boss is here, and
I do
it's
love this
amazing.
design for it.
Not only is his theme a rock version of the previous theme, but his attacks are all super flashy and cool. At the
Yeah.
price of being a bit easy to dodge. It's not a great sign when his Ring of Fire attack can be dodged by not moving. That's not to say he's easy, he's completely invulnerable except for when he uses his shield, weirdly enough, and his dash attack is super unpredictable, but when it's
Yeah.
hands down the easiest stage to complete the no-hit challenge on, it's definitely noticeable. I can taunt mid-attack
We had
here,
fr-
come on!
we had a hard time
Even
with
if it isn't
him.
the toughest, it's still a great final boss. And I even managed to fail the challenge of not
Yeah.
using the super attack in the last possible section. Haha. Yes, I know, I am quite the gaming specimen. After we shred the Shredder, we get a news report saying that we have one group of green semi-aquatic warriors from a major metropolitan area to thank. It's the name you all know. It starts with a T. Punk Frogs! I'm calling it right now. These guys were the devs. Oh, hey, Casey.
Yeah.
Nice of you to finally show up. Let's just get a story mode ending real quick. All right, nice. Casey isn't unlockable for beating the game. It is pretty
Wonder who
worth it.
probably
He's my
come out
favorite.
damage
He has the
after
best
the map.
animations by
No
far.
coming out,
So,
Frank.
that's
I'm mad,
Shredder's
um,
Revenge. If
Not coming out of France's pocket. Yeah, I know. Hello, madam.
me going through painstaking detail to explain each stage didn't tip you off, I love this game. It's one of the most charming, fun, and replayable games I've played in a long time, and captures
Makes sense.
everything a great beat-em-up should be. I don't expect it to, but I'd love for this to be the start of a new era of people taking chances on this genre. It's
I
the
hope so.
perfect
Oh, I
multiplayer game
forgot
for both
about that.
hardcore fans of the genre and casual ones. And you can even market it to your friends who have an unhealthy lust for April O'Neil.
That's why we have the turtle cards. I'm gonna focus
Okay,
on-
do this again, but with the Power Rangers.
I mean, they are. Rita's Revenge is now out. Pretty much.
Rita hasn't revenged enough.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to end the thing. Thank you all so much, and I hope you like what we're doing. Do all that stuff. Anyway, see you later.